I've loved PCs for as long as I can remember. And as soon as I could start building them, I did. In fact, I still have my very first custom PC still 10 years or so after I got it made. But things have certainly changed since then. And what am I running on now? Now, when it comes to the PC, it's really hard to say what is the most important component. But the hardcore gamer inside of me will always say, it's the graphics card. But generally speaking, a PC isn't going to work if you remove one of the components inside it. So they're all pretty important. And here's the list that I'm going to be following during my breakdown. And first up, the motherboard. I'm running the Asus Maximus X Hero Wi-Fi. Now, the reason why I'm using this motherboard is historically I've always used Asus Maximus series motherboards. They look good, they do the job well, and they've always got tons of features which I can use. Like this one is built-in Wi-Fi, but it's also got 2 NVMe slots which I have filled out. Next up is the processor, and I've got the 8th gen Intel i7 8700K running at 3.7 GHz. Now the graphics card. I've got an 11GB EVGA 1080 Ti mounted vertically using a Cooler Master vertical mount. And it looks good. Then we've got 16GB of G.Skill Trident Z RGB RAM running at 3200 MHz. This stuff is pretty, looks good, is absolutely solid RAM, and definitely does the job. Now, I do have the option to expand the amount of RAM I have with 2 extra spare spaces free, but 16GB at the minute does exactly what I need it to do. Then for storage, I've got 2 NVMe drives. One of them is a 256GB Samsung Evo 960, and this is the one that I have my operating system and programs installed on. And then my second one is a 500GB Samsung Evo 970, and this is my main drive for my games. So it's where I've got a Steam library, it's where I've got my Battle.net games, it's where I've got a League installed, all of that fun stuff. I've also got 2 hard drives in there, a 2TB and a 3TB Western Digital. These are for my media storage, personal files, and work files too. The whole thing is powered by a Corsair RM1000X 1000 watt modular power supply. This thing is an absolute beast, and so far has taken everything that I've thrown at it. I have done a few fun tests by throwing in extra graphics cards, and it's just laughed at everything that I've put in, so he is doing the job well. But the cables, you may be able to tell, aren't the ones that came in the box with the power supply, and instead I bought the white braided cable Corsair cable kit. For the case, it's a Cooler Master Mastercase Pro 5, and it's the Nvidia version of it too. I do have the side panel on, but I've removed the Perspex window. I feel that by doing this, it frames everything nicely and also makes the inside of the case look super clean. I also got some carbon vinyl, and I vinyled the entirety of the inside of the case. So instead of it being a matte black paint finish, it's instead got this really cool carbon texture, which I just absolutely love. I also created a small shroud at the bottom here. It looks really fancy, but all it is a bit of cardboard with the vinyl wrapped around it. For cooling on the CPU, I've got the NZXT Kraken X62 all-in-one water cooler. There's no point having an all-in-one water cooler if you haven't got any fans. So on the X62, I've got 4 140mm fans. 2 of them are just stock ones that came with the cooler, but 2 of them are NZXT 140mm RGB fans, and I've also got an extra 2 of these fans on the top of the case for exhaust. All of the fans are running off an NZXT Grid Plus V3 fan controller, and it also has a microphone attachment which monitors the audio levels of the case, so you can customize your fan speeds accordingly. With it being 2018, RGB is a big thing, and most of my RGB actually comes from my fans, my RAM, my water cooler, my motherboard, and my GPU. That's actually quite a lot, but I do have 4 300mm NZXT Hue strips plus the Hue Plus controller, making it super easy to control everything in the case. Altogether, when running through benchmarks, it gives a 3D Mark TimeSpy score of 7,306 for the processor and 9,812 for graphics, which is better than 92% of every other PC that's been tested using that benchmark. And that's my rig. If there's any components in there that you'd like to see specific reviews on, just let me know in the comments and I'll get to work. I'm also more than happy to run any extra benchmarks you may like to see, so just let me know in the comments and I'll get them running. And that's it for now, so thank you very much for watching. Please do hit that subscribe button, like the video if you liked it. If you didn't, then I'm sorry, but tell me how I can make them better in the comments. And I will see you in the next one. Bye!